Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? What up, what up? It's your girl, Audie, getting at you guys finally with another What It Do at Audie's W-2. Yo, it's been a year and 3 months since I have even touched What It Do at Audie's W-2. Yeah, it's been over a year since I not only posted on this podcast, but since I've actually had, well, you know what? Not really, because after I left FedEx, I got another job at Amazon, and they called it Flex. It's not Amazon Flex that you guys hear all the time on the Re-Up podcast. It's where it's like a flex position, like it's very flexible, like you get to bid, or not bid, but like pick your shifts, and that's what makes it flex, because it's like flexible to what you want. But I didn't understand it when I first got there. I was waiting for them to give me a schedule. I don't know, it just the way that I perceive things, it's really hard for me to, just get and to be on the same page with people. I'm never on the same page. Like, I was hoping that they would put me on a schedule, so it's like a guaranteed paycheck. The thing that I don't like about flex positions is that, you get to choose when you want to work, but it's like the pay fluctuates. Like, that's the thing that I didn't like. So I figured that if they put you on a schedule, it's like a guaranteed amount that you make every week. You just got to show up, right? Amazon Flex, doing package deliveries, it is very much like up my alley, right? But with it being summer, like, the blocks are just impossible to get. You have to bid on them now. So that's what kind of makes it, it's a waste of your time, especially when they don't approve. They have to approve it. If you're not approved, then you don't make money. So that's the struggle that I've had with Amazon Flex. But after FedEx, I did get a job at Amazon to work in the warehouse on a flex schedule. But I have went so many days without knowing that you could pick your own shifts. And when I finally figured it out, it's a bit strenuous, and I get to the point where I get motion sickness. So to scan packages and like spin around and put the package in this bin, you're spinning back around and you're picking up packages from the belt, and you're scanning it, and they're spinning around and walking up and down this aisle trying to put it in the right bin, or you're putting it on this cart. And it's just your eyesight is just going like further up the aisle, and then your eyesight comes back to look at something closer, and then your eyesight is shooting to look at something that's far away, and your eyeballs are shooting back into your socket to read something that's closer. I know it may sound like I'm exaggerating, but it's gotten so ridiculous that I actually got myself bifocals. So yes, and I picked them up not yesterday but the day before. And my eyes are still trying to adjust. I can't even like see what I'm typing on the computer. So I don't know if I have to just pull, like, or push my computer screen further back for me to actually see what the fuck I'm typing. It's, yeah, Audie is getting older, okay? Like, it's ridiculous, but that's life, right? We're all fucking getting old and going through changes. It's just, yeah, not everybody wants to talk about their changing. But anyhow, so I wish I would have stuck with the flex at the warehouse, but all of the good pay and the good shifts were being taken right away. Just like Amazon Flex with package deliveries, everybody is taking the much higher route, and you have, or higher pay route, and I'm just picking up crumbs. Like, I'm talking like 60 to 70 to $80. Everybody's taking the $90 ones, $100 ones. And if you wake up at 1 or 2 in the morning, yes, you can get $128 block, but you're tired and you have to be at the station within that hour. So it's really hard to, like, you have to go to bed at like 6 o'clock to get something at 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's that. But I wish that I would have stuck out the flex in the warehouse. So dealing with motion sickness and all of that, trying to, scan the packages and put them away. I got bumped down to the position where you have to pull those large totes off of this shelf and you have to stack them on this trolley, and they can be quite heavy, and you have to lift up these totes like 3 totes high. It doesn't matter like how heavy they are, and that was kind of a struggle. I started to, like, mind you, I was doing this kind of work without doing stretches or anything like that. So I don't want to say I wasn't physically able to do it, but it was like, girl, you could have been, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have been going to the gym. You could have been exercising your back out and, doing your pulls and reaches and stretches and, and I just wasn't there. And I felt like I was unable to do the job. Another thing too was they require you to wear steel toe shoes, and having to walk around in those motherfuckers, like, it was hurting my feet. And you guys may or may not know, but like, I'm starting to get neuropathy, and that's just what comes with being diabetic. Of course, if you take care of yourself, it's not as bad, but you still ultimately have them. So walking around in those shoes, it was strenuous to me, because they're not light shoes to have on your feet, as opposed to like walking shoes or running shoes are quite light. But anyway, so I quit booking jobs, because it was like, man, like, I can't do that. Like, I want something that's a lot more promising. So yeah, that was really like the last time. And even when I was there, I was wanting to restart. I wanted to restart what it do at Audie's W-2. I wanted to, but I just I wanted to see first if it was something for me. So a year and 3 months later, I this is the funny part. So I have been kind of looking, like I have been looking for a job, a part-time job on these job searching sites, and I forgot that I had signed up for Indeed. And I signed up, but I have never really fully made a resume, because I don't know how to make one. I just remember how they told us to do it long time ago, where they were like, oh, you gotta have like this header, and you gotta have a 2-sentence, like, it's like put your whole fucking job history in 2 sentences as your headline. And then there's like this whole, like, you gotta write like half of a paragraph, and then you can write down your job and your experiences, how many years, your skills, all of that stuff. And I even thought about getting on Instagram or somewhere and hiring someone to make a resume for me. But I was like, you know what? But when you go into like the job searching websites, like it just, it has things kind of preset, and then they give you like little AI suggestions, I guess. And I'm a pretty decent writer. I used to write for Yahoo and MSN, if you guys didn't know, but I was like, you know what, I could just write down, these things. It doesn't have to be like a full fucking story. So I just made some bullet points and things, and then I just like threw it up there. And I was quite amazed at how many jobs I've had. Like, I probably put like maybe 5 or 6, but I put Uber, I put DoorDash, I put Instacart, like I put those independent contracting ones on there, because that's the most experience that I have. So I just threw those up there. And then as I was writing, I was like, oh, I think that'd be really cool to put that I clean my vehicle, I get my vehicle washed, I wash and clean my hot bags, things like that. I think those would be very helpful, like to let them know that I do take my independent contracting jobs very, very seriously, because it is my business. It is my reputation, so on and so forth. So I was very impressed with how my resume came out. And I just like threw it up there, and all of a sudden I was getting like all these job offers and things. And I began to apply. That's why I was applying for DSP work. If you guys don't know about the Re-Up podcast, it's another one of my podcasts where I do deliveries. Like, I record doing deliveries. It's all audio, it's not video. But I have mentioned on there a couple of times that I applied for DSP work with Amazon. It's to drive their big vans and their big, trucks and deliver Amazon packages all day. I applied, went to 2 interviews, didn't get hired. I attempted to go to an interview about a week and a half ago for, again, DSP work for Amazon, and they stood me up. They fucking stood me up. I was there waiting for an hour. Nobody showed up. So just Rob was telling me, my husband was telling me that, it's a sign to let you know that that's not for you. Probably something better out there. You just gotta be patient. And he knows, you guys should know, I am not a patient person. I was still like, you know what? I'm gonna keep fucking trying. Like, I'm gonna try. And then this particular one got sent to me through Indeed. And what was really funny, I failed to mention that I was watching a few reels, because the algorithm, it picks up what you're doing. So if the algorithm picks up that you are visiting Indeed to find a job, it's going to throw you reels about Indeed or job hiring platforms. And I was receiving a lot of reels of people applying for Indeed or jobs through Indeed. And when they show up, they're being abducted, they're being reported missing, they're being assaulted, those things. And like I don't want to say that doesn't happen, but I took a chance because I was like, where they want these interviews, I've already been there before. So, Amazon throws up a job, or DSPs that work for Amazon post these DSP jobs on platforms like Indeed, and the interviews are being held at the warehouse, at a Amazon warehouse. So it's not like you're going to a deserted place where there's like only one warehouse, and you see 0 trucks in a parking lot. Like I've been to almost every single Amazon warehouse in the Phoenix area. So when they posted where the interviews were gonna be held, I've already been there. So like I don't want to think people are really being abducted. They probably are. It's really, really sad. And I want you all to be careful if that's what you guys are doing to going about getting a job. Like, just be mindful. Yeah, I would rather be stood up than to be abducted. And that's probably a bad joke, but I'm being for real. You guys just be mindful of your surroundings, that sort of thing. I would say converse as much as you can with them, but Indeed, they have messaging, like they have like an inbox where you could like chat or send messages. Of course, it's all like AI bots, it's all automatic. There was a time where I thought I was literally talking with a person, but it just kept taking me around in circles, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. But yeah, so anyways, got stood up and I was like, and that was my third interview. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm done. Like, I think, I tried 3 times with DSP, and I guess it's just not in the cards for me. So I just really had to let that go. I was just ready though. You know how you're just like, yeah, I'm ready to go, coach. Like you're just all hyped up, and then, you got to sit out for the rest of the fucking game and just watch everybody else play. And I kind of felt like every time I seen a Amazon truck around my neighborhood, or, when I'm out and about, I'm just like, damn, I'm watching these people like not only work hard physically in the heat, like that's something that I always want for myself. Like, I want to be able to work long hours without really feeling like physically tired, right? Like, I found myself watching these people kind of envious, right? Like, man, like not only am I watching these people do the job in, perfect to good health, it was like, man, like I'm watching these people make money, and I am unable to or ineligible to make money like them when I've been doing the same type of work. You know what I mean? Other than, without a truck or without a van. But anyhow, I had to really put my pride aside and be like, okay, just find something else. I even fucking applied for a barista position at Starbucks. And I even looked into working at Dunkin' Donuts. But what made me back out of applying or finishing my application at Dunkin' Donuts was a very specific question that fucking scared me to death. I'm not even playing with you. They specifically asked me if I can do math in my head. Man, I hesitated. I paused for probably like a good full minute. And I exited out of that fucking application because I was like, how the fuck dare you ask me this? So that was with Dunkin' Donuts. But yeah, I applied at Starbucks. I threw them my resume. And I get that they probably didn't want anything to do with me because I didn't write down any restaurant experience. And the only time that I did was probably like when I was 16, 18, where I had like a dishwashing position. I don't remember, but yeah, like I didn't get like my food handler's card at a restaurant, but I did when I was on the reservation, when I had my own little cafe going on the reservation. That was like the only time that I had like a food handler's card, but not for a in-restaurant position. You know what I'm saying? So I could see why they didn't reach out to me, but it's it's really fine. But anyhow, so the company that I work for now, because yes, your girl has a W-2. So what did you do? I found this company through Indeed, and I've never been to that warehouse before. So of course, when I saw the address, I looked it up. I shot them my resume, and they reached out to me in text messages, which I kind of find, and this is just my opinion, I'm not saying it's what it is, but like I sometimes feel like if they send you a text, then it's a little shady, right? I feel like if companies want to keep it professional and serious, they will send you an email with a, like, where's your professional heading, right? Like, you're asking us for a professional heading, like, where's yours? You know what I'm saying? But, that's just me. Like, because anyone can shoot you a private text, or like anybody can just create a Gmail account and like fuck with you. Then let me tell you, I came across this article where some man has rented a office space, and he put a couple of vending machines in that office space, and he was holding fake interviews. Like, he would call people, like, okay, he put up a ad probably on Indeed, like saying, hey, we're hiring for whatever, just to get people in his doors to make them wait. And he'll make them wait long enough to where they're getting hungry, they're getting thirsty, and they get, they're purchasing snacks and drinks. So I'm kind of wondering, like, if he's watching them through like a fucking camera, or like if he gets a notification, because these vending machines, they have like, you can tap your phone, you can tap your cards, your debit card, your credit card, inserting cash. So it's almost like I'm not going to call them into the back room for this fake interview until they buy something. So he probably gets a notification like, hey, so-and-so bought a Kit Kat candy bar and a Powerade. You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, okay, cool. Like, they paid their dues. I'm going to go ahead and give them their fake interview. Isn't that fucking crazy? Like, I don't know. And people were supporting it in the comments. Like, that's like people supporting fucking scams, supporting these scammers. But anyhow, and the thing that pissed me off too, I have to say, is that he was making like $500 to $800. I think if I'm thinking of the same article, but he was making like $500 to $800 a week off of running this scam. So think about it. I mean, but anyhow, they sent me a text and they were like, hey, come to an interview at this place. Here's the address at this time. And I got 2 different text messages from 2 different people. And I was like, okay, like, is one the office? And this other one is like personal, because it was more like a personal message. Like, oh, hey, like, what's up? My name is so-and-so. And, they're telling me the same message. So I'm just like, okay, what? And another thing that was crazy was Just Rob, like him and I, we find the most crazy, obscene reels and articles being reported every day. And Just Rob sends me this reel where this teenage girl from my fucking city almost get abducted by, I don't know if they were the cartel or something, but like, it was just so close to home. And her mother reported her missing, and they caught up to the girl. She fucking took an Uber all the way to the border, and the cops were waiting for her. And when they put her in a cop car, I don't know if it was a man or a kid or like just walks up to the cop car or to the cop and was like, oh, she's coming with me, like she's with me. And the cop was like, 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 anyway, it's abductions, like it's kidnappings, it's all of these, things going on. So it's like, okay, well, what happened? Like, did they get arrested? Like, what's up? But anyhow, so when you hear these reels and when you hear these stories, like, you're just kind of like, what the fuck, is this a good move for me? Like, because I've seen the Indeed reels, people going to these fake interviews, and getting, missing or abducted, just, and then you have somebody reaching out to you like that, like, it was just kind of like, I'll go see what it's about. So I looked up the address and I'm like, okay, I've been in this area before. And, I took a chance, I told Just Rob where I was going. And, so the day of the interview, everybody was, like, lined up. And you know what? I'm trying to make a video and I just don't have enough footage. Maybe I'll throw it out there anyway, but, I have to, put it together and, see what I'm going to do with it. But, there was like these long ass lines, and you'll see in the video what I'm talking about. But I had to park in the parking lot, and I met up with the guy. He's a cool dude, real cool dude. But the thing that was kind of annoying, and it is still kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie, is that a lot of people, like, he's such a cool dude, and I know people have issues, they have problems with the app. I'm seeing that now for myself. The app is quite fucking ridiculous. But like, people reach out to him, and he's very, very helpful. He's very, very patient. He's very understanding. I respect this man. And people just kept running up to us during my interview, like, oh, I need your help with this. And he's just like, can you excuse me? So he left me for about like 3 or 4 times during the interview. And every time he left, he was like, feel free to walk around the warehouse if you want, you know, talk to the people, see how people are working, you know. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. It is no different than Amazon Flex. You know, I've seen people scan packages, number them, sorting them, loading up their vehicles, their personal vehicles. So that's what I was like, okay, cool. You know, people were loading like vans, like the larger vans, like the Amazon vans. They're all not labeled, like they don't have like a company name on them or anything. And you know, I started talking to the people, you know, and I saw how they got along and how they talk to one another and how they help each other out. And I was like, this is fucking dope, because at Amazon, you're on your own. Like, you don't talk to anybody. You don't talk to nobody. These people, like, they were just helping each other out. You know, they're splitting routes and they're printing labels for one another. They're exchanging packages. Like, you know, you can ask each other for help, you know, that sort of thing. And I was disappointed, and am still kind of disappointed that my boss didn't go overpay, like, you know, like, oh, let's go fill out your direct deposit documents. Let me, you know, like, he never asked me what my experience was, if I had any experience. You know, like, if I had any questions or concerns. It was just like, well, you know, me, I was like, well, I hope I get the position, because I wasn't sure how their hiring process went. So I kind of left with that. Like, I was like, oh, I hope I get the position. And he hits me back with, oh, I can get you to start on Monday. He said, but we need to, you know, I'll send you documents over the weekend. You can e-sign everything online, and you should be in the system on Tuesday. He said, but I can try to, I know I can get you to start Monday. So I was like, okay, cool. So I did all that over the weekend. I had a hard time submitting my last 2 documents, and he was like, oh, well, it's the weekend, it's Sunday, so you're going to have to call them on Monday and see what they say, kind of thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, another delay. But I did start work Monday. I have the video clip for that. And the one of the bad things that I do not like, well, for starters, the very, very first one, and it'll always remain the very, very first one, is their app. I do not like their app. It's such a runaround. Every screen looks the same. It's very, very hard to find certain things. When you scan a package, it doesn't tell you what number or what number drop off it is. Like how Amazon, if you scan it and if it pulls up number 4, that's your 4th stop. With theirs, it is kind of the same, but like you're not always gonna get it. So when you scan it, it pulls up this thing like, do you take ownership of it? Like, do you take responsibility for delivering this package? And you know, you're clicking yes, because the more stops you have on your route, that's what you get paid for. So you know, I'm taking ownership of pretty much everything that I scan, but it doesn't show the number. It doesn't show the number location. So I have to put that aside. And you probably get like maybe 5 or 8 packages that you don't know the number. So meaning it's going to slow you down when, first of all, you can't find a package. And if you have like 5 or 8 packages that are unknown location, you have to pull everything out and like scan and check the address and, you know, things like that. It's so fucking annoying, but that's what I hate about the app. So I feel like there was another thing I was gonna bitch about before I brought up the app. But yeah, you can't find a number. And with Amazon, you are delivering envelopes and little items in poly bags. With this company, you are handling boxes, like large boxes, larger boxes than Amazon, and the quantity of large boxes. My first route that I ever got, I could not see out of my back window and the passenger's side window. Like, I was filled to the brim. And I was like, oh my gosh, what the hell? How the hell am I going to drive like this? You know, I still have to talk to my boss about a few things, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. But let's talk about the perks of my job. You can set your beginning route and end your route. So my job is on the west side. I live way on the east side. So I could start, like, I can pick my very first drop off. So if I wanted to go on home from my last stop, I could put the last stop near my house. You get what I'm saying? So the farthest drop off west to my last drop off, like, I can pinpoint and start. So that's a perk. I fucking love that. Second, if I have too many packages and I can't take any more, and or if there is a package that is too fucking large and heavy, I repeat, and too heavy, I can remove it from my route. Beautiful. Third perk is you are loading inside the warehouse. At the Amazon station that I do the most pickups is outside in the heat. There is probably only one Amazon station where you can load inside, but those are like 3 o'clock in the morning blocks at a different Amazon station. But since this job is like my primary, it's inside and it's fucking amazing. They have like a water, I mean, every place has a water cooler, but like they have like an ice machine. It like you can get ice, you can get water, you can, I think it don't cost you anything. I seen a vending machine, so of course you gotta pay, but I like how like they have like an ice machine, but I guess somebody broke it, or like they fill up their really large coolers with the ice and they already ran out of ice. So yeah, you got shitheads at work there that take up the resources, so that's pretty fucked up. But I'm still learning. Another bad thing I should say is that, with Amazon, they have like an automatic remote to like they have gate codes. They have like a remote through the app that if you just pull up to the gate, you just press the button on the app and it remotely opens the gate for you. The con with this company is they hand you a packet, like a paper packet, and all of these gate codes are sectioned and grouped by zip codes. So if I'm pulling up to a complex, the first thing, okay, well, first, this is what I've done, and I'm so glad that I've done it. I'm so glad I have a brain. But I look at my first drop off and I read the zip code. I turn to that paper packet and I look for that zip code, and then I leave it open just in case, because it's on my route. That's where I'm going to be. So when I am approaching a gate, automatically my eyes are reverting to what the name of that community is. I pick up my paper packet and I look up the name of that complex, and there it is. There's the gate code. I came across at least 4 of them that didn't work. So I had to mark those off, and my boss told me that those gate codes, they change. So they have to reprint a new packet every month. So yeah. But I'm pretty quick with it. I mean, if I do it that way, because I didn't have any problem when it came to looking it up and punching it in very, very quick. I just pull off to the side of the road, let other people go in. People have been letting me in, which is really great. Like I do my best to thank the person. Like, oh, thank you so much. I'm a delivery driver. It wasn't there. And people are pretty cool. Some of them are assholes, but what are you going to do? But yeah, I just pull off to the side of the road, and I don't mind jumping in and out of my car to punch it in and run back and, then go pull forward. But, it is a little time consuming, but if you know what you're doing, because you have a brain too, and you're just like, okay, this is no big deal. Like, this is fine. I've done this a bunch of times, and we'll continue to keep doing it this way. I mean, it's fine, right? But that's kind of like, I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled with the Amazon remote. Oh, that's another thing. You are unable to contact the customer. So with Amazon, you press 2 buttons. You can text the customer. You can call the customer. With this company, you cannot. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's no button to text, message, call the customer, unless there is a phone number on the shipping label, and the majority of them do not have a phone number. Another perk I love about this company or the app is that I had a box, like I had a package, and on the label and on the app, it just said building 5, and it was in an apartment complex. I checked everywhere on the app for a unit number. There was nothing. So I had to get out of my car. Again, it's time consuming, right? I found the box and I checked the label. There was no unit number. So I could not deliver it. Most apartment complex offices will not allow you to leave it at the office. And most of these apartment complexes, they have mail rooms, but you need a key or a code. But there was no mail room. I could not leave it anywhere. And there's no way I can get a hold of the customer and be like, hey, I left it, let's say, at the side of the office, on the right side of the office. Like, there was no way I could tell the customer or inform the customer of where their package was. So that's an automatic take back to the station. So what you have to do is you scan the package, and there's a button that comes up that says can't deliver. You mash that, and you could put customer refused, it needs more information, or the package is too damaged, or you put a reason, right? So I mashed more information needed. And it says, take a picture of the attempt that you attempt, like take a picture that you tried to attempt to drop it off. So I took a picture of the label, and then it says you can add a comment. So I added a comment saying, this is to an apartment complex. It has the building number, but no unit number. And clearly on the label, you can see that there's no unit number. And as soon as you press finish, like, you know, like you're submitting it, there's a little screen that comes up that says, no problem. It's okay. Just return it back to the station. I fucking love that. Fucking love that. I love that. You guys have no idea. Like, zero stress. With Amazon, oh, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. If you don't get the package to our customers, it's all your fault. All your fucking fault. They ask you, did you text a customer? Did you try to attempt to deliver it? Did you call the customer? Like, where did you put it? Are you sure it's delivered? Like, be sure you can deliver it. Or wait, you can't get a hold of the customer? Well, let me try. Let me try to get a hold of the customer so that they get their package. But it's still all your fault. They could document that you tried, but why does that still end up fucking up your account, sabotaging your account? That you have indeed and in fact attempted many, many times. And you talked with customer support and told them the issue, the problem. And it is still your fault. That's fucking crazy. So I love that about this company. Fucking love it. So, oh, here's another perk. I don't start my job until 10 in the morning. Fucking love that. Yeah, it does kind of suck because you are working in the heat, you know, with Amazon. Their perk with Amazon is you get to start early in the morning, right? And you're out of the heat. You can pick up blocks in the evening when the sun is going down. Yeah, it's still kind of hot, but like you're not in the sun burning, right? But I still consider this job a perk. Another perk, and this is probably the last perk, is, well, second to the last. Everybody's cool. Like, my boss is cool. He's understanding. Everybody's cool in the warehouse. Everybody's cool. Everybody's chill. Everybody's willing to help you. And the last perk is, what was my last perk? Oh my God. What the hell was my last perk? I lost it. What was my last perk? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I guess another perk is that I get to work near my house. Like 2 cities, or actually 3 cities in my neck of the woods. With Amazon, you don't know where they're going to throw you. With Amazon, they could throw you all the way in fucking Casa Grande. And if I end my block in Casa Grande, it takes me 1 hour and 15 minutes to drive all the way home. That is gas and mileage wasted. With this company, it's all the areas that I know. And they will never throw me to Scottsdale. They will never throw me to Casa Grande. They'll never throw me to Tempe. It's fucking amazing. So thankful. Oh, that's the last perk. I found it. The last perk is that I have a job. I don't have to bid and hope for a job. With Amazon, it gets so stressful. It gets so stressful, so fucking stressful. because I apply for blocks and they deny me. They reject my requests. But I'm waking up at 8 in the morning to apply for blocks. I get notifications, like, I have an alarm set on my phone for 8 o'clock p.m. to request a block. I have 5 requests and all of them get rejected. Again, I have 5 requests, but I only get 1. It is so stressful knowing that the means that you need to survive and pay your bills is not getting met. So you're wasting your time, or Amazon is wasting your time, and you can't even get 1 block. You will not get accepted, not just for 1 block. You won't. It's so fucking frustrating. Like, you're getting your hopes up for them to be like, oh, no, you don't get to work. No. And they keep throwing up the same blocks or shifts that you're not getting accepted for. So, like, why the fuck are you even throwing that up if you've denied me for it? Like, it's so crazy. So fucking stupid. But anyway, that's the perk with this company. I have guaranteed work. So, yeah, I told my husband that I'm happy that I get to work at like 10 in the morning, because some of you guys know that I have ills in the morning. Like, every single morning I don't feel well. But I have time to take care of it before leaving for work. So whether I'm sick or not, if I'm not sick, I have enough time to make a very good breakfast. I have time to even make it to the gym to, stretch myself out before having to go to work. Like, I have a little bit more time to myself to collect myself, to get things ready for the day, for my shift, and show up at 10 o'clock at my job. So I am quite happy. I am relieved. Even though I already took 2 sick days off. I started Monday, got sick Tuesday. I worked Wednesday, Thursday, took Friday off because I got sick. Oh my gosh, I got severely sick. And then I work Saturday and Sunday. Oh, the bad thing too is I only get paid, I get paid weekly. So working for Amazon, I got spoiled. As soon as I'm finished with my block, I get paid right away. It's in my account. With this company, I have to wait for my pay. That's what fucking sucks. But overall, I am still very fucking thankful. I'm glad that I got a cool ass boss. I'm glad that I can work alongside people. Like, there's this guy, I don't know his name. I need to find out what his name is. But yeah, he doesn't speak any English. But when we see each other, we're like, hi. Like, we pretty much jump up and down when we see each other. And he's such a cool guy. Like, I don't understand him. He doesn't understand me. But we try. Like, I respect him. I'm sure he respects me. And from time to time, we split our shift. Like, we split our packages. He takes the heavier stuff, and I just take what fits in my car. But he's a cool dude. If I find out his name, I will give him a shout out. This woman that I met the other day, she's like kind of taking over for my boss a little bit. Her name is Kendra. She's a very cool, beautiful lady. I love her. I respect her. Yeah, and then there was another guy that I met, I think on my second day. His name is Terry. He's an older gentleman. And yeah, he's a cool dude too. Who else did I meet? I met the in-law of the boss, and she's really, really cool. She's the one that showed me the ice cooler and everything. And there's another gentleman too. I only talked to him twice, and I don't know his name, but he's been with the company for a couple years. And yeah, he's a cool dude too. I like him. And there's another man too. His name is Mike. And he speaks Spanish. Like, he was translating to the guy that I don't know his name. Yeah, he's a cool dude. So far, everyone that I've met there and had the pleasure of loading my vehicle beside them, like, it's really cool. I appreciate the space. Like, we're all sharing the space. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate them. So yeah. I'm very thankful, and I'm happy, and there's no one that can curse or hex me about that shit, man. Like, I'm just there to work. I just want to work. That's all I want to do is work. That's all I want to do. And I'm happy that I was recommended by Indeed, this company, and I took a chance. And I am so happy that I got it. And I'm going to do my best to show up every day and, just kick the sicknesses, out of the way. And, yeah, just show up. That's all I got to do is show up. Everything else I've been doing for years. This is nothing new for me. Well, except for this warehouse. But the job itself and the requirements to do the job, I have all the means to do the job. Like, I got my sun hat, I got my water bottles, I got my gloves, I got my markers, I got me my neck fan, I got my bifocals. Like, I have, I have my trolley, to take the heavy packages to the customer's door. Like, I have everything that I need to perform the job safely. And if it's gonna get better, shit, I'm all for it. I'm down. You hear me? But yes, what it do at Audie's W-2 is back, and I hope you guys will be into it. I will probably only do the W-2 like an episode per week, because there are times that I'm gonna be more on the Why Run podcast. I'm gonna still be uploading the Re-Up podcast, and on this W-2, I'm probably gonna record more of how many packages I've delivered per day, per week. And I don't know if I'll be discussing my pay, because it's gonna fluctuate, right? Like, I don't know. Should we discuss about the struggles? Everybody else does, right? Like, everybody that has a W-2, they have to get to work to, make ends meet. So, I don't know. I'll think about the pay. I just don't think that's too important. But, and I want to talk about the miles and, like, mishaps. And, if I got hang of the app, I got to let you guys know what that guy's name is. So that's going to be an update. health things. That was another thing, is how much like steps I'm taking, because I really like when people document their steps. Like, there's no way in how I could ever do 10,000 steps a day, but people are doing it, and I just love hearing about it. It's so weird. But I would like to tell you guys how many steps I've taken that day and, that week. And not too much of my health, other than, like maybe snacks that I'm taking on the go, and like maybe how much water, how many times I'm able to get to the gym, how many miles I've walked, or what's been helping out my body as far as like stretching my body out, what seems to be helping. And here's one health thing that I can share with you right now, is that you guys know I love Burger King. I've been having Burger King since I was a kid. Fucking Whoppers used to be $1. Now Whoppers are like $10. $7 to $10 is fucking crazy stupid. But anyway, still having my Whoppers, right? And like, I don't eat my Whoppers with the bread. I take everything out from the bun and I make a lettuce wrap. And I've noticed that like my my legs aren't that swollen, right? Like, they're not that swollen, and I feel a little spring in my step. So you guys know I'm diabetic. We're not supposed to have bread anyway, but I kind of feel like I'm not eating the bread because I'm diabetic. I just think bread is too thick, like it's too heavy. And I feel like bread makes me sick, because I notice that when I eat my burgers with the bread, oh my gosh, like I feel tired, like I need a nap, you know what I mean? But when I have my burger, you got the meat, yes, I eat the cheese. I don't give a shit. I fucking love cheese. I'll load it with, pickles, tomatoes, with a shit ton of onions, yeah, like in the lettuce wrap. And I don't feel tired. It's great. Another thing that I'm cutting back on a lot, believe it or not, are French fries. If I do have French fries, I'm only getting a small. So, yeah, fried foods, I'm really trying to stay away from. But yeah, like I'm making these small changes, like I'm not giving up fries. It's just I'm trying to make better decisions, right? So, the only thing that I wish, which I probably have to experiment with, but I'm not sure, is that if I do go out doing a job, I have this lunchbox that you can like plug into your car and it heats up your food. I was thinking about maybe getting like a styrofoam cup and taking a few lettuce leaves and like, packing it with, ice or something, just to keep it from wilting. And if I were to go stop at, Burger King, like on my route, because I starve myself. I'm trying not to do that. That's why I say, I'll document my snacks. But I need to eat something that's going to keep me full, because I'm not a snacker. I don't like to just eat chips. If I'm going to have chips, I want like a whole ass fucking sandwich with it, with a big ass drink. Like that's just like my mindset. But yeah, I was thinking about maybe trying to take some lettuce with me, and getting a sandwich, and just throwing the meat and the veggies in the lettuce wrap and enjoying my sandwich, right? Without the bread, because I really don't want bread. If I want bread, I want like a croissant, or like, unless I'm getting like a sub sandwich, then I'll eat the bread. But a burger, no. I think it's already a lot of what I feel like I shouldn't be having, which is beef. But it keeps me full. So I don't know, I'll figure it out. But that's a little health update that I can give you guys for this episode. And I can't believe I've been recording over an hour. Man, you guys, thank you guys so much for pressing play and having a good listen. And yeah, we're going to be talking about everything job, everything job. It's, our jobs are quite repetitive. So that's like another reason why I think we should only record like once a week on a Monday or on a Tuesday. I got Mondays and Tuesdays off. So yeah, I feel like I'm oversharing, but I'm just really happy and very appreciative of this job. And I know a lot of people out there are very appreciative of their jobs because, how else are we going to survive when it's really hard for people to get a job? And I'm one of those people. I don't have a high school diploma or a GED. And a lot of times people that I know personally tell me like, oh, jobs don't really require that, but they kind of do. I was on Indeed like 3 weeks ago trying to get a job at a Native American casino just to wipe down casino machines, to vacuum mop the floors, and be a busser or a dishwasher. And they're like, oh, you got to have 2 years experience, and you must, and it is required that you have a high school diploma and a GED. And it's like, wow, just to wash dishes, that's crazy. But anyways, thank you all again for pressing play. And don't forget to add, rate, comment, subscribe, follow, and share. And don't forget to check out the Why Run, the Re-Up, and the Audie's Art Struggles podcast episodes. Yes, I have a lot going on, but I love it. Fucking love it. And I hope you guys love it too. And yeah, I will talk to you guys next week on What It Do at Audie's W-2.